Hello and good morning to you. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin here, streaming live from the Atlanta News First Plus desk with today's session of weather where you are. And certainly we did all have some weather roll through this morning, some hearing thunder, flashes of lightning, brief heavy rain. We had a little short duration First Alert weather day this morning. First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi and Rodney Harris giving you that alert, letting you know the earliest portion of the morning commute was a little rough and tumble, a little stormy, a little rainy. And now behind that rain, cooler, eventually, drier feeling and clearer conditions sort of weather pattern filters back into North Georgia and metro Atlanta. We're not completely done with the clouds. Excuse me. If you're about to head outside, you haven't been outside in a while, I will tell you that it is still fairly gloomy outside. We're going to be dealing with the cloud cover as we go deeper into the afternoon, but eventually that forecast will give way to more sunshine. Again, let's go ahead and get into the First Alert forecast. Today's weather where you are. Want to begin with also a reminder that we are streaming across many platforms: Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. We're on YouTube as well, and YouTube is the place that you can ask your weather questions, address any weather comments, maybe concerns that you may have across metro Atlanta, North Georgia, even beyond. Here again, we get viewers from many places. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, and you need them addressed, YouTube is the account to ask those questions. Have the stream up right now. Certainly some folks watching, but no questions coming in just yet. But we're here to answer those for you, and we'll be keeping you updated here. And then right after this forecast, new data coming in, and we will have your complete First Alert forecast coming up on Atlanta News First, news at noon. Outside right now, temperatures, fairly cool. In fact, I ran into someone walking into Atlanta News First in the parking lot, and they were saying, "Oh, it wasn't this chilly this morning. What happened?" And it was that rain that moved through. If you came into the office early this morning, you dealt with the rain, but some of that cooler, breezier weather was kind of lagging behind the rain. Now we're seeing some of that cooler air filter in. Blairsville still 53 degrees as we're now halfway through the 11 a.m. hour. 56 in Canton, 57 Gainesville, 60 in Atlanta, 52 in Carrollton, really cool on the far west side, 60 in LaGrange, 61 at Locust Grove. And again, we'll have a bigger look at First Alert satellite and radar. We're going to update the maps here for you. And again, fairly quiet after that early morning round of rain. It was, briefly heavy at times, so no more rain in the forecast. It's all about the cooler, drier weather that is now filtering in from the north and west. Now, if you have travel plans across the Georgia coast, maybe you are taking a long weekend and you're driving to Charleston, if you're driving down to Savannah, if you're driving down to, further south, the Brunswick and Jacksonville area, you could encounter still a little bit of more rain, but nothing that's going to be a huge hindrance to that drive in or that drive to your destination. And then as soon as the rain ends, we're going to have some cooler, drier weather start to filter in. I wouldn't call it, brutally cold or anything like that, but I would say it's going to be kind of chilly in the mornings and cool in the afternoons across North Georgia and metro Atlanta as we get into our weekend. Let's begin with today's forecast, though. For some, again, today's Friday. Happy Friday to you, everyone streaming. Some people already celebrating their weekend, maybe have today off. I know that Atlanta Public Schools did have their break this week, beginning with President's Day. There's a little bit of sunshine now, trying to poke through on Hartsfield-Jackson, the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport Skycam. Temperatures warming up slowly today. Temperatures about as mild as yesterday, a couple degrees cooler. Going mid-60s most likely, though some will be cooler than that. Remember, this is for the city of Atlanta. Mid-60s, eventually more sunshine in the forecast, so we're hanging on to some of that cloud cover right now. We do clear out late this afternoon and this evening, and because the sky is clearing, we have some cooler air, drier air filtering in. We will have a chilly evening ahead, so cooler, drier conditions filtering in. That breeze you notice in the hour-by-hour forecast to my right will remain elevated. We're sustained 10 to 20 this afternoon and maybe 10 to 15 this evening with gusts up to around 20. So a cooler, breezier evening compared to yesterday evening. Remember, we were pretty mild, spring-like for sure, pushing 70 several afternoons so far this week. And that came to a little bit of a halt, a little bit of an end this evening across, this afternoon, I should say, across North Georgia and in metro Atlanta. I do want to bring you into the extended forecast and kind of lay out the rest of the weekend. No huge weather hurdles to contend with. That is nice, right? We're going to have a nice weekend. Not too cold, not too warm, cooler. I will say Sunday morning is going to be fairly chilly. Again, kind of a reinforcing push of chillier weather in the First Alert forecast. Saturday, breezy and cool. 59 degrees, so about 10 degrees cooler than today. Despite the sunshine, tomorrow will be sunnier than today. And I think either day will be fine, if not great for outdoor plans. Cold start, though, Sunday. A light freeze for many outside of the urban core of metro Atlanta, but notice how we shoot back up to the lower 60s and on our Sunday afternoon. So I just got a question coming in from Reed, asking about a specific area. If you could give me a more precise location, that may be outside of our viewing area, Reed, but if you want to give me a closer location. It looks like I got a zip code in there, so we're going to do this live. We're going to enter in that zip code. That does not look like a Georgia, at least not a metro zip code, and it does look like, yes, that is up in Ohio. So outside of our, no, not Ohio. That is in northeastern Illinois. But hey, we're here streaming. Weather is all related. And your weather up there is going to trend colder too. Your Saturday or Sunday will be colder. Temperatures looking like it's going to be barely above freezing tomorrow afternoon. Reed up in Chesterton, Illinois. Warmer Sunday, cloudier though. Your next rain chance looks to be Tuesday, and it does look all liquid. But then after that Tuesday rain chance, you too will trend colder once again. Nothing profound for that area, but colder. In fact, of the next 7 days, tomorrow will probably be the coldest day in that extended forecast. So just a reminder that we have streamers here from all around the country, and we are here to give you the forecast. Chesterton, Illinois, that's kind of just off of Lake Michigan, east of Chicago. Colder tomorrow. You'll feel it. A little warmer Sunday, a little cloudier. Next rain chance early week. Tuesday looks to be the day, and then behind that, colder and clearer weather once again. But for us, kind of a similar pattern. So speaking of everything being related in Chesterton, Illinois, they're in the near freezing tomorrow afternoon. We're pushing 60 tomorrow afternoon, but still cooler than today, much like up there tomorrow cooler than today. We start to warm back up as well, but we're pushing 70 ahead of the next system. Their Tuesday system is our Wednesday, Thursday system. And this one will initially come with mild air, and then behind it, once showers and probably some thunderstorms move through, we will see a transition back to cooler, drier weather once again, hopefully lining up with at least a portion of next weekend. Again, we're going to have to wait for that. I will say, no first alert weather days on the 7-day forecast now, but by the time we get to next Wednesday, Thursday, really well before that point, we're going to be having to reevaluate that forecast. New data coming in today, kind of boosting our rain chance a bit. Wednesday, more so into Thursday, and that rain chance could linger into Friday. And if it looks like the rain comes at a time and is of an intensity that'll impact your plans, we'll put on that first alert weather day, simply a bookmark on the 7-day forecast, and emphasis on the extended forecast to let you know, hey, this day, 2 or 3 are days to watch for weather that'll impact your plans. But right now, rain chances have trended low or remained fairly low. And it doesn't look like a huge impact on your plans, but today's data coming in a little bit more potent with the storm system and maybe a little slower moving. So we may have to bump up those rain chances and extend them into Friday before eventually clearing out, cooling off as we get into next weekend. So something that we are watching pretty closely. Reed, thanks for asking your questions on YouTube. Reminder, we're still streaming. Amazon Fire, the Atlanta News First app, First Alert Weather app. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, coming up on about 9 minutes into this stream. Do want to remind you, we're about to get a pretty big set of data. In fact, I was looking at models before walking out here to the Atlanta News First Plus desk and doing today's weather where you are. New data coming in just a little bit more stormy with that setup as we get into late next week. So you may see some alteration, some subtle changes in that far extended, day 6, day 7, day 8 portion of that forecast. And a reminder, you can look beyond the next 7 days. 10-day forecast always available at atlantanewsfirst.com, where you may be streaming this ANF Plus stream, also and the First Alert Weather app. Again, we are here to keep you updated. Doesn't look like we have any new questions coming in. Just wanted to give you a holler, let you know that we are still watching the forecasts for you, and I'll be joining First Alert Meteorologist Fred Campagna and Patrick Pete this afternoon on Atlanta News First Plus and Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate. I want to thank you for joining this ANF Plus stream. We'll leave you with a full view of that 7-day forecast. Again, there could be some updates as we get into the afternoon newscast. Probably will be, as us meteorologists meet in the Weather Center and talk about some of this new data coming in. We'll be watching that weekend forecast for you, but then especially late next week as the next storm system approaches North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. If you can't watch the new news or if you're away from the TV this afternoon, reminder you can always get the forecast at AtlantaNewsFirst.com and in the First Alert Weather app. Have a wonderful weekend. Get outside and enjoy the sunshine, but again, will be breezier and noticeably cooler through the rest of today on into the start of the weekend.